Hello, my name is George Watts. I'm a British Wheeler yoga teacher and creator of the Yoga Teacher Lesson Plan Kit, and today I'm going to share with you what hopefully you'll find to be a very useful resource for your yoga teaching. I've called it the Yoga Practice Tracker. It's on my website here at georgewatts.org, and you come down here and basically it's just a 5-step formula for turning a home practice, which is normally considered to be difficult and disciplined and hard work and grinding. So not very many yoga teachers, especially not very many yoga students, will do a daily home practice, which is what I call the holy grail for most yoga teachers, is to get their students to do a daily practice. That's the ultimate. I think if you talk to most yoga teachers, they'd say they love their students to do a daily practice. So this is exactly why I created this yoga practice tracker, and it's turned it into a game. So the gaming industry, I do a lot of stuff now with kids yoga. I teach adults yoga, but also getting into doing much more with kids. I've learning ways to engage the kids more, and I'm taking the positive stuff from the gaming industry and putting it into the kids yoga, and I've realised you can also do it to the adult yoga as well. So this is it, and I'm just going to cover it right now. So the first step is pretty straightforward. What I do with all my new students, I give them a folder. So on the post here, you'll come here and there's a link that you can click on this link, and it will take you to Amazon, and it will show you one of these presentation binders. It has a little plastic pocket on the front, and what I do is just put an insert. So I'll just show you one of the ones I have in the Yoga Teacher Lesson Plan Kit. That's the actual. I'll show you that. That's it there. So there's just the insert. That goes at the very front. You put the name of your student in there. Type in the name. Your class details would go down here, and you just slide that into and your name would go there. You can create your own one if you wanted to, or there's one if you're a member of my Yoga Teacher Lesson Plan Kit, you can get that from there. So going back to here, you just give them one of those folders. Put that insert in the front with their first name or their first and last name, so it's personalising it. So that's part of the game, is that they're getting something, that folder, and they're taking ownership. And so here, the next step 2 is to download and print. So here you'll receive I show you here, this is the resource that you'll be receiving when you download. Let's make it a bit bigger. These are the steps I'm just covering here. They're on the website and I'm just going over. And then down below you'll see there's the Yoga Practice Tracker. So we've got, normally most yoga teachers have a 6-week course, and there are the weeks, there are the days, and they've just got to draw a star when they've completed their practice so if they've done it on week 1 on Monday, there it is. They just draw in their star, and that tracks their progress. So I'll go over the point systems in a bit. So just go through the steps on here. So you're going to download, and you're going to print that out and give it to all your students. And you're going to ask them to put that at the front of their binder. So that tracker, that practice tracker, will go at the very front of their binder. So that here will print out. So you've got 20 students, you'll print out 20 of these, and ask them to put that. The cover will go in the front of the binder and the plastic thing at the front. But the very first thing within the binder you give to your new students will be this. So they can have this and they can track this, and all your other resources. If you give handouts to them every 6-week course, or every week you give them a new handout or something, that would go behind this practice tracker. So this has got to be at the very front. So step 3 is really to explain that this is the best game ever, because it's really a bit of a life changer. If they use it, because it's now a game and it's fun, it can really be life-changing. So if you go from a practice where a lot of students who come to classes, the only yoga they will do is at the class with their teacher. But they can go from one yoga class or doing one yoga session a week to 7 a week, to a daily practice, or as much as possible, 5 to 7. But even if it's a practice where it's only 5-10 minutes, that would count as a daily practice. So it doesn't have to be a 90-minute long session. You can tell your students, if it's at least 5 or 10 minutes, that counts as a session, and you can draw a star, put that on your practice yoga practice tracker sheet. So you explain it by, and you've got to be quite passionate about it, because it really is quite. It is a life-changing thing. If your students start using this and they start doing a daily practice, it will change their lives. A quantum difference between doing yoga from 1 day a week to 7 days a week is just, a huge difference. So then on step 4, you'll explain the game to them. So it's all very, very, very simple. And there's A, B, C, D. There's 4 little steps to how you explain it. So you just basically say, if I go into here, they're just putting they are putting in here, their star. So as soon as they do a practice session at home, they will just write the star, draw the star in. They can colour it in if they want to, and that's it. Job done. It couldn't be easier. That's all they've got to do. So go back to there. So you're just saying, if you do practice on week 1, day 1, that would go into that box. So if they do their practice there on week 1, Monday, there goes the star. If they're doing it on week 3 on a Wednesday, they draw the star in there. So really, really simple. And then you've got to let them say, they've got to, as soon as they've drawn that star, they've got to allow themselves to do a little whoop of joy immediately after they've drawn that star. So give themselves a nice little endorphin rush and really feel the sense of reward from completing their practice, and putting immediately, as soon as they've done their practice, they draw their star and they can feel the sense of reward. Now, part C here is to explain the point system. So I've already kind of explained that to you. It's really, really simple, but I've got a light-based system here. So at the beginning of a 6-week course, everyone's in the black hole, so there's darkness. No, there's no inner light that's been created, because there's been no yoga. But as soon as they start doing their practices, they gain more light. So how I've got it is that because it's a 6-week course, there's 1 point per practice, so that means there's 42 points available. So if we go back in here into the practice banner down below, you'll see the point system. So it's 1 point per practice. And if you do a daily practice, and the classes that they come to, so there's obviously 1 class per week that they come with to you, they count as 1 point. So immediately they get 6 points just for showing up to your classes. So there's another 36 points available if they do home practices during the 6 weeks, daily during the 6 weeks. They start in the black hole, so if you don't come to any classes and you don't do any home practice, for the 6 weeks you remain in the black hole. There's no light emitted from you. If you do 1 to 5 practices there, so you only come to say a couple of classes and you miss 4 of the classes, you're a candlelight warrior. If you come to all classes and you don't do any home practices, you're a moonbeam warrior. And if you do 7 to 18 practices, you're a sun ray warrior. And you can change this. I'm giving you the MS Word document, and you can change the analogy here. So if you want a different sort of point system with a different analogy, go for it. This is just the one that I came up with for me. I might change this in a few weeks' time, but this is what I'm going with at the moment. So 19 to 41 points, they get a star, they become a star warrior. And if they do come to every class and they do all the practices, they have 42 points. But if they miss 1 or 2 classes, you could say to them, okay, if you miss a class, If you do a practice, do an extra practice, say on that day that you missed the class, if you do say 10 minutes if you can, that will count. So even if they don't come to a class, they can make up for it with an extra practice. That's optional, or you might not want to do that. So next thing we've got here is D here I've got is it's important for you to also be playing this game as well. So you print out a yoga practice tracker for yourself and you play along. What I've got here, so say you can also kind of up the ante a little bit here. So you're playing the game, and as a yoga teacher, you're the role model for your students. So if you're struggling to do a daily practice, it's going to be that's going to feed into your students. So if the students can see that their yoga teacher's doing a daily practice, that helps them out. But also you can up the ante by doing things like if you beat me in the points, if you have more points than me at the end of the 6 weeks, maybe they get a free class in the next 6 week session, or they get all the next 6 week course for free. So this is quite clever because it gives you motivation to do your own practice. I like to speak to a lot of yoga teachers, and a lot of them really do struggle with their own home practice. So this will turn it into a game for you as well. And it's also fun, gives a bit of intrigue and curiosity to the students. They'll be thinking subconsciously, could I beat my yoga teacher, get more points? Can I get a free class or a free course in the next course? So it just adds that little bit of gamification. That game makes it more engaging, more interesting, more exciting for the students to show up on their mats at home. So the last part, the step 5, is have a little award ceremony at the end of a 6 week course. So you've got the resource here. So if I just show you the award, so you've got you're a star, and you can put their name in there, and you've got sign your name there and the date, and you put that, and they can add that into their folder. And they can keep track of how many sort of stars, and you can even put the number. So say they got 41 points or 40 points, you put 40 in there, and then and their name, and then they can see they can then track over the years how many points, how disciplined. Well, not disciplined. This isn't discipline now. It's now a game, but really you're camouflaging the discipline behind a game. So they're still going to be obviously really disciplined to do a daily practice, or as close as possible to a daily practice, but it's now not felt or seen to be discipline, it's a game. So you would award them, and you would so you give those awards to either the stars or the supernova stars. So stars or supernovas, if we go back to here, this would be, the people who did a daily practice and came to all your classes, 42 points, they're a supernova star. And if they've done, 90 to 41, you can also award them, or you just award supernova stars. That they just get it, and it's the ultimate. And people are just going for that ultimate award, or to make it a little bit so they can make it a bit easier. You can give them, the Star Warriors who show up, who get 90 to 41 points. You can give them an award as well, or you can give the Supernova Award a different certificate. There's lots of different ways of doing it, and this is just my simple little system, but you can adapt to it. So that's really it. I hope that helps. You can test it out. If you think of any way of improving the practice tracker, please share it on my Facebook page. So if you're not on the Facebook page and you didn't get this from my Facebook page, it's facebook.com/yoga lesson plans, and that's my Facebook. You can go in there and you can just add comments and say, hey George, have you thought there's a different point system analogy that you might come up with? And you say, and I might apply that to my tracker. Or you can share the download. So say if you've edited the MS Word document that I provided you here. This is the PDF, but I'll also give you the MS Word document of this. If you've changed it up a bit, you can maybe share that with us as well. So it just helps other yoga teachers to see how other yoga teachers have been implementing this very simple yoga practice tracker. So to wrap it up, if you I'll just give a very quick plug. I created this drag and drop yoga lesson planner. So if you're looking to find it easier to create your lesson plans, you want to save a bit of time, you can come over to my website, and it's you can go to the store and you'll see it over here, the yoga lesson plan kit, and also got a kids yoga lesson plan kit as well. So good luck and happy teaching.